You can do 10,000 crunches a day. You can starve yourself on celery and water. You can run until your feet are bleeding, and your belly still won't go away. Why? Because you're fighting the wrong enemy. Most people think belly fat is just fat, stored energy, something you burn with sweat. Wrong. What if I told you that the fat you can pinch, the soft, jiggly layer under your skin, isn't the real problem at all? The real danger is the fat you can't touch. It's hidden, buried deep inside your torso, wrapped around your liver, crushing your pancreas, and silently attacking your heart. It's called visceral fat. And here's the scary part. You can look skinny everywhere else, arms, legs, face, and still have a deadly amount of it inside you. This is known as thin outside, fat inside, and it's often more dangerous than obesity. But here's the good news. Visceral fat is the most dangerous fat in your body and also the easiest to destroy, if, and only if, you know the biological code that unlocks it. Today, I'm going to show you that code, a Japanese protocol built on a specific plant pigment, a powerful compound in tea, and a 75% movement rule shown to reduce visceral fat by almost 50% in just 2 months. So put down the weights, stop the crunches, and listen closely. Because for the next few minutes, we're going to flip your metabolism upside down. To destroy something, you first have to understand what it is. Visceral fat is not like the fat on your arms or thighs. That fat is subcutaneous. It's passive. It just sits there, like money in a savings account. Visceral fat is different. It's biologically active. It behaves less like fat and more like a toxic organ. It releases inflammatory chemicals. It disrupts your hormones. It drives insulin resistance. Think of visceral fat like a parasite. It attaches itself to your vital organs and feeds on inflammation and excess energy. So how do you know if you have it? Here's a simple self-check. Stand up. Press on your stomach. If your belly feels soft, squishy, jiggly, that's mostly subcutaneous fat. That's vanity fat. But if your stomach sticks out like you swallowed a basketball, if it feels hard, firm, tight, that's visceral fat. That pressure you feel? That's fat pushing outward from the inside. That's your liver asking for help. So the question becomes, how do we kill the parasite? We use a 3-step attack. Cut off its food supply, block its enzymes, burn it out aggressively. Let's start with step 1. And no, I'm not going to tell you to just eat vegetables. That advice is lazy and useless. We need to target the root cause of visceral fat. What creates it? Oxidative stress. Here's a simple analogy. Your cells are like a car engine. When an engine runs too hot for too long, it starts to rust. That rust is oxidative stress. And visceral fat loves that rust. It feeds on it. So if we want to destroy visceral fat, we need to remove the rust. And the most powerful rust removers in nature come from a family of compounds called carotenoids. Carotenoids are the pigments that give plants their color, the orange in carrots, the red in tomatoes, the deep green in spinach. Now, this is where Japan comes in. In a double-blind Japanese study, participants simply increased their intake of carotenoid-rich vegetables, especially carrots and cabbage, for just 8 weeks. No calorie counting, no extreme dieting. Here's what happened. The carotenoids neutralized free radicals. They reduced oxidative stress, and, this is key, they flipped genetic switches. They turned on fat-burning genes and turned off fat storage genes. The result? A significant reduction in visceral fat just by adding color to the diet. So here's your rule. If your food is beige, bread, pasta, crackers, it's feeding the parasite. If your food is bright orange, red, or deep green, it's killing it. Sweet potatoes, bell peppers, spinach, squash, carrots. This is not about eating less. This is about eating strategically. Now let's talk about what you're drinking, because there is one drink that works like a master key for your fat cells. You've probably heard this before. Green tea burns fat. And maybe you rolled your eyes and thought, yeah, right, another myth. But this one is real, if you understand why it works and how people completely mess it up. Green tea is loaded with a class of compounds called catechins, and the most important one, the one that actually targets visceral fat, is EGCG. Here's the mechanism, and this is powerful. Think of your fat cells as having a locked door. Normally, that door stays shut. EGCG helps pick the lock. It stimulates your nervous system to increase fat oxidation, your ability to burn stored fat for fuel. But it does something even more important. It blocks an enzyme called lipase. Lipase is the enzyme that breaks down dietary fat so your body can absorb it. When you drink green tea rich in EGCG, you're basically putting a bouncer at the door of your gut, saying, nope, not all this fat is getting in. In a randomized, double-blind, placebo-controlled trial, people who drank catechin-rich green tea for 12 weeks saw a significant reduction in visceral fat. Not scale weight, not water weight, visceral fat. But here's the warning. This is where most people fail. You cannot use sugary bottled green tea from the gas station. That's not green tea, that's sugar water. It will make your liver worse. What you want is Matcha or Sencha. Why? Because you consume the entire leaf. That means a massive dose of catechins compared to a regular tea bag. And there's a synergy here. The caffeine revs the engine. The EGCG unlocks the fuel tank. 1-2 punch. Protocol: swap your second coffee for a clean matcha green tea. No sugar. Optional lemon juice to improve absorption. This is your liquid key. Now let's talk about the most important weapon of all. Diet is powerful for weight loss. If you stop eating, you'll lose weight. But here's what the data shows. Diet shrinks the whole body. Exercise targets visceral fat like a laser. So, do you need to run marathons? No. In fact, that might make things worse by driving cortisol through the roof. Do you need to lift like a powerlifter? Not necessarily. Let me tell you about a study that completely changed how we look at fat loss. Researchers analyzed 117 different studies, and one specific protocol stood out. Participants cycled for 45 minutes just 2 times per week. That's it. But here's the critical detail. They trained at 75% of their VO2 peak. After just 2 months, here's what happened. Scale weight barely changed, but visceral fat dropped by 48%. Insulin sensitivity improved by 41%. That's borderline reversing pre-diabetes. This research was highlighted in publications including British Journal of Sports Medicine. So what does 75% intensity actually mean? You don't need a lab. You don't need a mask. You need the talk test. If you can sing a song perfectly, too easy. If you're gasping, dizzy, about to throw up, too hard. You want the sweet spot. You should be able to speak in full sentences but sound slightly out of breath, like you just walked up a few flights of stairs. You can talk, but you'd rather not. That's the zone. That's where visceral fat melts. Now, I need to warn you about a trap almost everyone falls into. When people want to lose belly fat, they try to starve themselves. 500 calories a day. 1 meal a day done wrong. Random multi-day fasts with no prep. Here's the problem. Calorie restriction hits a wall. Your metabolism slows down to protect you. Your body thinks it's starving, so it holds onto fat. Exercise doesn't work like that. A large study showed that exercise has a dose-dependent effect on visceral fat, meaning do a little, lose a little. Do more, lose more. No plateau. So the strategy is not starvation. The strategy is fuel your body with nutrient-dense foods. Use movement to create the deficit. Now let's turn this into a plan you can start tomorrow. Step 1. The Cunner Rule. If your plate is brown, put it down. Add one deeply colored vegetable to every meal. This is your shield. Step 2. The Liquid Key. Swap your second coffee for matcha green tea. No sugar. Keep it clean. You're blocking lipase. Step 3. The 75% solution. 3 to 4 cardio sessions per week, 45 minutes each. Cycle, run, row, walk uphill. Use the talk test. If you're not slightly out of breath, you're not burning the belly. And remember this, consistency beats intensity. The best exercise is the one you'll still be doing 3 months from now. Visceral fat is dangerous, but your body is resilient. It wants to heal. Give it the right signal. Stop starving it. Start fueling it. And move it at the right pace. If this helped you, like the video, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to see this.